Golden key number 7, warm-ups. This warm-up exercise will help you get into a state of channeling and creative flow, while at the same time working with the creative part of your brain. So let's begin. Pick an object in the room or person you know. Then list all the words that come to your mind quickly and without thinking. They don't all have to be about the main object. And for example, the first one usually is about the main object, and then that word will make you think of another word. Now take those words and write random sentences with them. Try to have them in fours, so either 4, 8, or 12 sentences. Let's say you have 8. Arrange the sentences into 2 groups of 4s by deciding which ones make the most sense to go together. At the end, see what you've done and perhaps put a couple chords to them. And voila, you have a couple verses. It doesn't matter if they make much sense. You should be in a creative writing space at this point, and you should be feeling a sense of accomplishment, as we all do once we've created something, because before it didn't exist. Take a look at my example. I started with radio. And I also made my sentences rhyme, which gets the rhyming muscle going, but you don't have to. So I started with the word radio, and then the word block popped in my mind, and then knob, and then dial, and then show, and then can, and then I thought of the word worm, and then fish, and then boat, and that's where I stopped. So I took each word and made a sentence for it. Block, we block ourselves. Knob, turning the knobs of fate. Dial, to dial murder in the sun. Show, showing what awaits. Can we survive this world? Worm, or will worms be what's left? Fish, fishing for answers. Boat, in a boat, on a quest. Now what is great about this exercise is that the words you use can have more than one meaning and can be used as different parts of speech. For example, I use can, and I don't know how I jumped from show to can, but it just popped in my head. So I was thinking originally a can as a noun, like a can of beans or a can of worms, but I used it as a verb. Can we survive this world? Give this exercise a try and feel free to let me know how it worked for you in the discussions. Remember, this is to get you in a state of creative flow. So once you do this exercise, and whether you use what comes out or not, whatever you write from that point forward should come through a lot easier. Golden key number 8, baiting your lyrics. Bait your lyrics with melody. I can honestly say that ever since I've discovered this technique, I've been using it to write every song since. However, for this tip, you have to already have some chords picked out for your song. You don't have to have the music for the whole entire song ready, but at least a series of chords for the verse or chorus. Alright, so you have your chords, and the next step is to create a melody. As you're playing the chords, you can start to freestyle random words that don't make sense, or you can make them up completely as you're thinking of them, or use sounds like la, da, ba. I personally just like random words. So next, play the chords over and over again, experimenting with different melodies until you find one you're happy with. Then, sing the melody and start writing and singing the new lyrics as you come up with them. The lyrics should then come at full speed. And this technique works because you have the chord, the melody, and the last thing is the lyrics. What makes it work so well is that melodies actually bait or provoke the lyrics, meaning they bring them in more effortlessly than just coming up with them out of the blue with a pen and paper. So even though the lyrics don't exist yet, they lie metaphorically behind the melody, so that when you bring in a melody, the words are just behind the curtain, so to speak. Give it a try. Golden key number 9, escape to focus. This technique might sound a bit out of the box, but it's experimental, and when writing lyrics, you should not be afraid to experiment. It will definitely come in handy if you're writing but you feel nothing special is coming out. Just try this out for a few minutes. Pick some chords, or the chords you intend to use for your song. Play them over and over again until you've memorized them and they've become pure muscle memory, so you can even play them with your eyes closed. Now, you're going to play them with your eyes closed a few times until you get into a nice rhythm. When you are ready, just start singing and see what comes out. For me, I was able to produce a lot of lyrics this way, much more than if I sat down with a pen and paper. Although you may want to record the session because you will not remember everything, a lot of creativity and inspiration is channeled through you during your times of writing, and you know this because it's only there for 10 seconds and then you can forget it very easily, similar to forgetting your dreams when you wake up. So what increases the output of lyrics with this exercise? The first thing is that you are eliminating all distractions in the room. Any and everything can affect your thoughts, and I don't think you'll always want to write about your television or computer. Those everyday items distract you from inspiration because they trigger thoughts, and those thoughts trigger other thoughts, and then you are no longer present, which is what creativity and inspiration require from you. Sunlight can't come through if there are a lot of clouds. The second reason for increasing output is because you become more aware of how you feel internally. So now, with the external thoughts and distractions out of the way, more emotions and subconscious material can surface. What you write about comes from the internal perspective of you anyway, so in effect, you're just streamlining the whole process for yourself. This is the 10th and last golden key to becoming a lyric writing machine. Emotion. Energy and motion, harnessing your current emotions. Writing songs can be emotional. However, this does not have to mean heavy emotions, but all kinds. The easiest way to produce the best lyrics is to use your current emotions. You can invoke other emotions, but then you should be a very skilled actor. I can't do that because I still feel like I'm lying to myself if I try to write a happy song when I'm actually kind of sad. In fact, sometimes when I'm upset, I grab my guitar and just start strumming and singing, and believe it or not, great things come out of that even rhyme. My only mistake is that I forget it right away. So let's start this exercise. Take a moment and focus on how you're feeling. Come into the present, because you're always feeling some way for some reason. No matter what you're feeling, it always wants a way to express itself externally and be a part of everything that is, so to speak. Your emotions are real, but always fleeting. So when you use them to write music, it's easy to capture them. Emotions are energy in motion, and songs and music are also energy in motion. Do you see how it all connects? You can take a moment and fathom this theory, or you can dig in. Once you have a good sense of how you're feeling, you can acknowledge it and turn it into music and lyrics. The music is taken from your mood, and the lyrics that come out of you articulate how and why you're feeling this way. Your emotions and how you are feeling don't lie. They are the truth. When you write from your truth, it's pure, and sometimes even pure gold. What comes out can really surprise you, so please do yourself a favor and record your session or have that pen and paper at hand.
Hi everyone, this is Adam coming at you with another titanium tip, and we're going to call that How to Nail Songwriting. And this was an inspired idea that I had because I get messages from people about my course improvements or what they liked about it. And I usually respond on the wall, but I thought, why not make a video about it because it's an important topic. So I'm just going to read you what they wrote to me. And Mark says, I was less interested in the technical aspects of songwriting as it seemed fairly self-explanatory, at least in terms of pop music. I did find it interesting that I do most of these things instinctively, but I'm more interested in those songwriters that I feel really nail lyric writing, whose lyrics are simple but achingly familiar and can infer complexities. I also think the author should branch out of the pop-punk space a bit more, as most of the lyrics used in the lesson are kind of banal and lacking something. I guess I was looking for some answers on how the more artistic of lyricists pull it off, and if there are tricks they use. A bit of a knock at my favorite genre, but that's okay. So the point that I would like to share with Mark and everybody is that there is no such thing as nailing lyric writing. There are no tricks. What I've given you in these videos and in these courses directs you to here, because if you want to nail songwriting or lyric writing, you nail it in here, because it's subjective. Just because a song is loved by millions of people doesn't mean they nailed it. It just means it resonated with a lot of people. So what your job is to do is to make sure that when you write from your heart, you express yourself, and you put yourself in a space where you have this flow. And you see what comes out of that are clever lyrics, are expressions that maybe you never thought of before. And when you nail it for yourself, then it'll resonate with other people on that same level. Because all the songs that I write and I record, to me, I nailed it. I nailed those lyrics. I think they're clever. I think they're insightful, inspiring, passionate. And those other people that resonate with that resonate on the same level as me, and they sense that I nailed it. But really, because I'm writing for myself, and I know when I personally nailed it, and I'm happy and really excited by the lyrics, and I want to share it with everybody, that's how I know, and that's how you can know too. Now, he said that he did most of these things instinctively, the golden keys and the methods that I've shared about connecting to yourself or making writing an everyday practice. But that's the thing. It directs, there are no external, well, you can have external tools and there are some exercises, but really it's all about connecting here. Connecting here, getting yourself to a space of that connection, tapping into that greatness you have inside you, and then in that state, expressing the song, expressing yourself from that state. And because nailing it is a state, it's a feeling. And it can express itself in many different ways. So that's what I'd like to share on this topic. So I really appreciate the message Mark sent me, and I hope it helped all of you or inspired you. And I appreciate it because it makes me look at these topics and think, well, how can I think about this in a different way that I never thought about it before? So this was fun. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi, this is Adam. I want to thank you again for taking my course wherever you found it. And as a treat or surprise, I'd like to share something with you. I'm about to share with you a song and music video that I created recently, because I think it would be good for you guys to know who I am and what my life is about and how I express myself, so you know that I live by the principles that I'm teaching. And I'm so grateful that you've been watching my videos and taking my courses, that this is another way I can give back. And I also want to say something else, because writing this song was challenging for me in a way that it had me tap into sections of myself, tap into emotions of love and appreciation that I never tapped into before. So I wrote it thinking about how I appreciate my life and my friends and my family and how much I love them. And before, it was challenging for me to express that so openly. So besides this, I also wanted to demonstrate to you that I wrote this, recorded this, and produced this myself, spending very little money, because if you're a songwriter, I assume that you also want to make videos and recordings. And I got so much out of it, not just from writing the song and the therapeutic sense of writing it, but also recording it myself in Logic, and I mixed and mastered it. And all I did was I went to YouTube and I found Music Help Tech Guy, I think that's what it is, and he showed me that I had everything I needed in Logic to make my song sound great. And before I was making excuses, just put them out as is, or I need to pay someone to do it. But it was fairly easy to learn how to use compression and EQ and some other things. And after that, I went out with a friend with a 5-year-old HD video camera that I had lying around. And we went out and we shot it for 2 hours, got a bit of sunburn, but we had so much fun doing it. And then even afterwards, I took that and a bunch of videos from my phone, and I did the post-production and editing process in Camtasia myself, and it was just amazing. I got so much from that experience. I kept taking it from the level of writing it to recording it to making a video and editing it, and then sharing it as far and wide as I could. And I want you to have that too. So this is an expression of that. This is an insight into my life. I want you to know that I appreciate you so much, and sit back and enjoy all I ever wanted.
The words I speak are so sincere, well, I mean them with all I feel. It's everything I've always wanted to say, with no conditions in my mind. It frees my heart to love my life. It's everything I've ever wanted to be. I may be on my own, but I'm never alone, yeah. I may be on my own, but I'm never. The words I speak are so sincere, well, I mean them with all I feel. It's everything I've always wanted to say, with no conditions in my mind. It frees my heart to love my life. It's everything I've ever wanted to be. So I thank you now, the best way I know how, of being in my life. Oh, I'll do this right, no expectations or exaggerations, no more hesitating. so sincere. Well, I mean them with all I feel. It's everything I've always wanted to say. No conditions in my mind. It frees my heart to love my life. It's everything I've ever wanted to be. It's all I ever wanted. 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 It's all I
That was nice.